just thought I'd jump on here and talk a little bit about this No Kings protests nationwide. If you're in a blue state, let the police and the National Guard and the Sheriff's Department handle things. If you're in a red state, same thing. Only just be ready in case local law enforcement needs help. That's my recommendation. I was one of those that was drawn out in 2020 when Antifa came to North Idaho. I actually was even interviewed by one of the news stations, had my AR-15 on me, and her question was, what's with the artillery? And I said, well, it's not to harm anyone. There were probably college age, kids on the corner holding signs, "I can't breathe." And I said, look, we don't have a problem with them protesting, even though George Floyd was telling the police officers that he couldn't breathe before they ever laid a finger on him, even though George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, and that everything that they were protesting was a false narrative, not true. Just like No Kings, just like Hands Off, everything that they're protesting is false. But they have a right to come out and protest. And one thing that bothers me a great deal is people that supposedly are Christians and that are on the right trying to convince us that they have a right to come out and protest. Who says that they didn't? Who on the right is saying they don't have a right to come out and protest? I'll wait. Nobody is saying that. But we patriots have a right to counter-protest peacefully. And we're not going to go on the other side of the street with AR-15s and try to intimidate anybody. I don't recommend that at all. But I do recommend being ready in case law enforcement needs help. Because if they do come here, and they are putting out ads on Craigslist and other platforms looking for people that agree with their narrative, they're putting it out there that they'll pay up to $1,000 for people that are willing to come out. Look at my story today. That's one of the ads that they're publishing. So they want a civil war. And they want to entrap people like January 6th. Do you know a week before January 6th, I put it out on Rumble. It's still out there today. If you go to my channel and go back, you can watch what I had to say about it. I said, don't go. It's a setup. And I'm saying that again, that this is potentially a setup. They want a civil war. Yes, the left is out there protesting lies. Everything that they're talking about out there that they have a problem with isn't even true. We know that. Yet they still have a right to come out and do that peacefully, and we have a right to drive circles around them with American flags and back the blue flags and don't tread on me flags. You know, that flag that they say is a symbol of white supremacy that was created to tell Great Britain to back off? That one? Or come and take it? Take it? Texas, come and take it? Or the Betsy Ross? So we are going to have a Patriot train, if you call it, on Saturday. And we are going to drive circles around a little bit to show that we do not agree with their false narratives. And they will probably scream out Nazi and whatever else they're going to do. And we're just going to wave and smile back. No cussing, no yelling, no arguments, right? But we do have that right. And if you're in a blue state, I wouldn't recommend it, because the police are told to stand down and let these people, riot and throw rocks. I mean, have you watched the footage that they're trying, by the way, to silence? if you have a cell phone and you go into certain areas, your video live stream won't work. They're trying to silence it as much as possible. You had Maxine Waters, that criminal, out there, telling people peaceful protest and peaceful protest. No, that's not what it is. They're attacking officers. We've seen them take rocks to the helmet, and whatever else they're doing out there certainly is not going to happen in North Idaho. But if it does, we're ready to help law enforcement under the direction of law enforcement. But I do not recommend going out like we did a few years ago. The reason so many people came out is we were sick and tired of watching Antifa and BLM and these communists, Marxists in masks coming out, beating people up and throwing bricks through windows and destroying people's businesses and so on. How many people did they did they kill? Maybe 20? So it was watching that where we said, you know what, we can't let that happen to our town. And that's why many of us went down there and just peacefully walked around, but armed. I think this is a different story. I think that the deep state has learned their lesson, and they may try something else here. And so my recommendation is, don't give them what they're after. I think they want to start a civil war, or they want violence. They certainly want violence. Now, if we're attacked, we certainly have to respond. But I don't think engaging with them at any level really is a good idea. Speaking with them, yelling back at them when they yell at you, let them yell at you. Who cares? Flash them the cross. And God bless. That's my recommendation. So, we're not going to be taking this lying down. I will say I don't appreciate some of the rhetoric going on about militias. I think maybe some of the information is accurate, but certainly to, brush a wave over, all that believe in militias or, defending our town and so on probably isn't a good look. But I do recommend that, people stand down, let law enforcement do their job, and if they need help, we'll be available to help them, right? All it will take is a call. We'll be watching. And that's all I have to say on the topic. So, pray, because that's what we should be doing. And pray that God's protective hedge is about our law enforcement officers. There's a very, very good chance they're not going to come here and start trouble because, well, they know that it won't work out well for them. So maybe they won't be making enough money to come here and try to shoot people or crack people over the skull or throw bricks through windows.